Hello friends, I'm really excited to get into the video today because this is actually going to be following a project that I've been working on for a little while, and we are currently kind of in the middle of it. Before I catch you up on the series of unfortunate events that have gotten me to the part of the project that I'm currently at, this is my first long form video. I wanted to introduce myself. Some people call me Mave Made It because I make things, and also because I gave myself that username. For a really long time, I have wanted to make my own immersive experience. And that's what I'm doing now. And it starts with this video, which is a little terrifying and horrifying and awful and scary, but I'm ready, I think. I literally have a degree in making immersive experiences, kinda. Technically, it's called entertainment engineering and design. But just know that's what that means, okay? Choked me on spit. I didn't like that. And the good news is that I already started it. However, things have gone suboptimally. The issue, I think, primarily being that I decided to take the largest scale project that I have yet to work on and mix it with a bunch of skills that I have never actually tried before and just seemed kind of like it'd be good for this. And naturally, that has led me to some mistakes. Is this ruining it? Maybe.
I'm a little confused about what I'm doing wrong.
This looks so bad. There's like no structural integrity at all.
Stop. Where was I at? Let me just kind of rewind and catch you up to where I'm at. So it starts with me saying, I don't want to wait for somebody else to give me the opportunity to work in their immersive experience. I want to make my own, and I want to experience what it's like to have creative control over that. Then there's the question of what type of world am I building? And I've, tinkered with a lot of different world building just throughout my life. And I have my certain like aesthetic inclinations to myself, blah, 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 blah. We end up with a whimsigoth urban fantasy setting in which I get to play an artificer because it's my world and I get to make up everything and all the rules and nobody can tell me not to be. And because I like the idea of making a ton of little Magitech gadgets, so that's where we're jumping off with. Then we run into the unfortunate logistical concerns of what do you mean? What does immersive experience mean, right? Like a lot of, a classic example that's kind of close to what I want to be doing is Meow Wolf. I started my career there. It was exactly what I had always imagined when I started getting my degree. They're doing really important work in the immersive entertainment space, but they also have a ton of space. Like they had a warehouse, then they had a pirate ship, and then they bought a bowling alley. And I don't have that. In fact, I quit my job kind of to do this in a way. And so the result of that is I have very much not a lot of money at all, and definitely no permanent place to put an immersive experience. So where does that leave me? Making a DIY immersive experience at home? Great question, I'd love to tell you. What I landed on is building out a physical space still, but making it portable. And for right now, what that means for me is I'm making a bunch of stage flats, which is basically fake walls that are used in production so that you can build and take down rooms as necessary. I'm lucky enough to have a pretty big car that will allow me some flexibility in transporting this to wherever I need it to go. But that doesn't mean I have the constraint of making sure that whatever I build can fit in the back of my 2003 Ford Expedition. So that's the plan. And since I've decided that we're working off of this jumping point of artificer in a whimsigoth urban fantasy setting, I thought it would be really fun to start by building that set. After making the vision board for this project that I am lovingly calling the MCU, the Mave Crafted Universe, it made sense to me to make a castle wall out of foam and build the artificer's workshop kind of like it's in the basement of like an old castle. So I decided to follow tutorials for those kind of stone walls and then just reskin it with color palettes I like to make it look more magical. The fun part of this being that I've never worked with foam before in any capacity. So I would say there was a little bit of a learning curve there for me. I'm going to do something slightly out of character and read the instructions before I get started since it is dangerous. So I have the hot wire plugged in and I'm about to do my first test of cutting with it. It's not hot. Oh, it's not on. Oh, it immediately started smoking. I don't think the wire attachment was the best call for this. So I'm actually going to let this cool down and then try to go in with the pen instead. Hopefully that works a bit better. Since it is dangerous. Oh, it cools down so fast. So I'm going to try that again with a pen this time. Okay, perfect. Okay, this is working so much better. I actually don't think that this is the way for cutting off a long section, but this is how I'm doing it. Oh, it's fumey. I should probably have a fume extractor on for sure. Okay, the burning is telling me that maybe I shouldn't be doing it this way. I'm gonna keep going just to get it all the way off though. Perfect. Well, that is my first foam cut. There we go. Wait, this is actually so satisfying. Once I had a good number of stones cut out, I did some test swatches of what the paint could look like because I can't watch a tutorial and copy it bar for bar. It's just not a dog that I have in me, so to speak. So I had to replace all like the gray and black monotone stuff that they had going on in the tutorials I was watching and replace it with like pinks and purples and blues because that is just my vibe. It's the next day and all of our base coats are on. I always tend to make art that is like blues and pinks and purples. I don't know why, it's just like, I can make things in other color palettes and I like them, but I always think this feels the most me. It's so like Barbie, but I kind of like it. I'm actually wondering if instead of a purple for the next one, since this one is pretty purple, I should do a blue. I really don't like the blue. I really don't think the blue is gonna work, but I know the washes that we're going to do should really harmonize the colors, so I'm gonna leave it just to see what it looks like. The dry brushing is all done. I think it looks good. I am now moving on to the part that I am most excited about, which is the washes. Start the coat. Oh. I think I maybe should have waited for the coats underneath to dry a little bit more. Let me try taking a paper towel and seeing if it can make this look more like a wash. Yeah, I think it's just like too much at first, but it's fine. I think it's fine. I'll make this a very wet mixture and apply it with a paper towel. Another way I've seen people do this is with like a spray bottle that has a super watered down paint in it, but I'm doing this on cardboard, so I don't really want to do it that way. We're just gonna keep pushing. Low key, I'm still gonna apply it with a brush and then I'll move it around. See, that's like proper gray. This is like the craziest way to be doing this, but I think it'll look good, it'll look good. It'll be fine. I said there was a lot of different ways to do this. I think I'm doing it not one of those ways. Let's give it like a good another rinsey rinse. How different does this actually look at this point? I think I should just kind of start over. This is like a more pure black acrylic paint that I think might help. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna even add a little bit more. There we go. Okay. That is a lot closer to what I was wanting, which is great. Is this ruining it? Maybe. I don't know. I think not, but I guess we'll find out. Actually, I'm getting really excited about this. I think it looks like stone. That's awesome. That's awesome. That rocks. I'm chuffed. This shirt got a little dirty. That's fine, because I can just crop it some more. But these 3 options are done now. I'm going to take a little bit of time to sit on it and decide which one I want, and then we will move on to the final build. Once I picked which one of the swatches that I was going to use for the whole wall, I had to make the whole wall. But after spending a few days reviewing our swatches, I have decided on going with this more colorful option, which I think is gonna be super cute. Yeah, that's gonna be everything. First was, I was riding a high. Everything was going great and dandy. I was sketching out what the stones would look like. I was hiding a few little motifs in the background that I could expand on. I kind of just continued to make mistakes from that point on. I had all these pieces cut out and I was gonna put them on top of cardboard, which is a questionable decision, but it's really cheap and I have, like I said, no money. And I painted the cardboard black, also questionable because of the structural integrity and also because I had it made out of 2 pieces that were just like duct taped together. And this looks so bad. You'll see that the stones are kind of evenly spaced on the side, and then there's something happening over here that can't quite be explained. I'm learning. If I wanted all of the outside edges to line up, I should have done that first. So I'm just gonna work from one side to the other and then cut the other side at the end. You'll see. Let's get into it. I'm a little distraught at a large section right here that I had to stack up. So I don't know what order they go in anymore. And let's be honest here, friend to friend, the cardboard isn't working. This seam and like the way I mounted it allows, there's no structural integrity at all. But I do still want to use cardboard. I'm gonna use one solid piece and I'm gonna lay it all out on the floor, which is definitely what I should have done in the first place. I was just being extremely impatient. I took a nap, now I'm back to do it this new way and hopefully it goes better. I did get there and I was really proud of myself for that. I textured it, which the way that a lot of people do it is with tinfoil, but I went to the store and tinfoil in San Francisco was $8 and that was ridiculous to me. So I found some racks and I used racks to texture it instead and that worked just fine. And what I will say is a bit of an unfortunate disaster is that the text that was written on the foam has a texture to it. Of course, it's very visual, but I honestly was being impatient and I rushed that process. So the texture is still there. So I didn't do a black base coat before I got started on this. And as a result, we have the blue marker that I used for the sketching of the different stones coming through the paint. dent. Now I have to go back and do multiple coats, and it's actually not even making a dent. Would it have been valuable for me to have just gone and bought more black paint to do a base coat? Yeah, 100%. That's not where we find ourselves. There's a world, honestly, where I redo this wall in the future, but I think there's a lot of value in just moving forward and continuing with this project and like readdressing that at maybe a more appropriate time. But you know, trust and believe that I see it, and there's just nothing I could have done by the point that I realized how glaringly obvious it was. But nevertheless, after that point, it was smooth sailing for a little while. I got to just really zone in on painting and making it look like the swatches, and I was falling in love with the process again. Thank God. After that point, it was smooth sailing for a little while. I got to just really zone in on painting and making it look like the swatches, and I was falling in love with the process again. Thank God. The first wall is built, and I have hidden some surprises that I will show you guys when I'm finished. I even added some LEDs to the stars that I had put into the wall, and I think it looks so cool. I did not record the process because it was ugly and I was just so fed up, and I needed to do something for me. And it was just gonna be a surprise at the end of the video, but I need to be honest with you, that's just what happened. And then it was time to move on to a desk because, you know, ideally, this is where I'm gonna actually be tinkering. I really, you know, was vibe building. I have a way of making things sometimes, allegedly, maybe, perhaps, in Minecraft that, you know, you just feel it out. You vibe it out. You maybe measure with your heart.
See, now it's starting to look like something. I feel like just the desk being there makes it start looking like something. I'm pretty happy with this.
Before I call it a night, I need to show you something really exciting I discovered. So here is a desk that I did not measure at all. I actually used exactly the length that it already was, and I just cut the width down. Eyeball. Fully just subjectively put it on the table saw and cut it. This is a piece of foam as I got it from the hardware store. Like, I have not touched this at all. It's a perfect fit. Ah! It is literally like I couldn't have done this better if I tried. All I need to do tomorrow is cut out a divot so that it rests on top of the piece of plywood that I have right there, but I'm literally so excited. I was vibing it out. Like, my vibes worked. You know what I mean? Like, I was feeling it out as I went, and it went well, and it went. The next day, I was immediately humbled, guys. I had the idea for the tabletop being just like a big piece of wood. It's the MCU equivalent of like a weathered oak top. It was all well and good. I was really happy with that. But when it came to the legs, I don't really know what I thought I was gonna do. Like, maybe I was just gonna paint them, but it felt too easy and normal. Maybe I should have just done that looking back. So I was really stuck on what to do with the rest of this desk after putting the top on. And after doing a little bit of research, what I decided to do was get this expanding insulation foam, because hypothetically you should be able to just like spray it into a blob and then carve it like any other material that you can carve. Firmly screw straw onto valve stem spray foam. Sick. I'm just gonna give it a little test somewhere, maybe here. I'm kind of scared. You don't shake it or anything. I know, it just says spray foam. Nothing's happening. Oh, always wear gloves and protective eyewear. Be right back. It is firmly screwed on. That's as screwed on as it gets. And then it just says spray. Oh. Okay, it's gonna work. Wait, it's not spraying. Why did it stop? If this doesn't work, I'm freaking screwed. I'm a little confused about what I'm doing wrong. Nothing? Like, I really don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong. The directions should have been more clear. That's literally, I'm doing it exactly what it says. Oh, there's more directions. No, surely it's fine. It does say shake vigorously, minimum 60 seconds. It doesn't say that in the top, in my defense. Where the directions are with the pictures, it says nothing about shaking.
Shake vigorously, minimum 60 seconds. Firmly screw. Okay, and then you first. Okay, well. Okay, maybe it's not too late. Let's see if we're faring any better. A bunch of stuff came out. Oh. Oh. Okay, shaking it makes a difference. Okay, shaking it makes so much of a difference. Okay, sick. Oh. And now is when I put the sheet down. Oof. Oh no. Maybe I should start from the bottom up. Okay, I think maybe I need to wait for it to cure a little bit before continuing to stack it, because it is just glooping all the way down. Maybe I should have also started with one that's in the back. That's okay. Put this can away like it says, and to be fair, it doesn't like guarantee that you'll be able to use it again after you use it the first time, but it's been maybe 10 minutes, and it was like stored like this. I took it out, I shook it up this time because I know better. I'm not wearing gloves, sorry. They're sticky. Look at this. Oh no, nothing's not even gonna come out. Maybe it's clogged because like I can get it out at the top. Oh, okay. I think I've cleared all the blockages. Let me try shaking it. That's what I was seeing before I started recording just now. Oh, see, it's flinging everywhere. No, just back to a whole lot of nothing. I think I should preemptively go to the store and get another can, lest I find myself even more desperate.
And to understand the like pressure that I had put upon myself in this moment, I need to give you guys some context about me. I am capital F from Las Vegas, but I've been working on projects out in San Francisco. So like I've been splitting my time. This desk build for this like larger project was happening like a day or two before I had to go back to Vegas from San Francisco. I decided, well, but you know, I did design this whole thing to fit in the back of my car. And I'm driving to Vegas where I have a house and a garage, like a workshop. So I'm just gonna bring it with me, no big deal. Like I need to stop stressing. My problems are all solved. But like, what was I thinking? I was too busy having fun. Like I was here for like non-work related things. I don't know where I thought I was gonna make the time to do that. And it was gonna be fine because I was just gonna drive it back up to San Francisco. But like, unfortunately I had some financial obligations that I didn't expect to come up, and I could no longer afford to drive my car back up to San Francisco. And instead I had to fly out there and leave the set here. So since the last clip that you saw of me working on that project, it's been sitting here in Las Vegas collecting dust. And that is where you're caught up with present me. My garage is right over there, and my set is there, and you and I are gonna go take a little look at it.
Before we go in there, I need you to promise to be nice to me, okay? All right, let's go.
Teddy, do I look good in this?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay, so this is it's kind of been like this for how long has it been like this for? A month. I'm gonna be honest with you, you kind of just saw the whole thing at the end of the last clip. It hasn't changed.
Maybe, hopefully next week we will continue. I'm going to finish the project. Hope that you'll be along with the ride, and I'm gonna be posting everything I do for the MCU, so I really look forward to hearing people's thoughts, opinions, feedback, all of that. But without further ado, let's get the set loaded in my car and get it back to San Francisco. This is such an unfortunate sight, but we're on our way, folks. I am all packed up and it is time to be en route.
Can you see me? If this video gets 10 likes, I'll do a shop tour. Pan.
Pan back.
Sub up.
That was